I think now he realizes he can basically resign.
13 moves and world number 1 Mangrove Carl Swamp can basically resign. Absolutely unheard of. Who could inflict such damage on him? Well, this guy, the up and coming chess godmother Arjun Erigaisi. What an incredible player. He had the black pieces as well. Wait till you see this absolute demolition job. So Magnus opens with e4 here. We get c5, the aggressive Sicilian, knight f3, e6. Magnus goes for this La France variation himself a lot lately. Cheeky chappy is Arjun. Magnus sets up this Maroczy bind. The pony develops and he fights for the centre here. Takes his played, knight recaptures. Now how about this? We get knight f6, known as the Kramnik variation, and I shouldn't even be telling you what the variation's called. First rule of the variation, you do not talk about the Kramnik variation. But as ever, you get the behind the scenes info here on Septic Cheese. Do subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Now we get knight c3, defending the pawn, and you can play bishop b4 here, different game, but bishop c5 is selected. Huge pressure on that centralized pony. Bishop e3 can cover, but then you've got some problems with the b2 pawn after queen b6. So this weird looking move is played. Has Magnus completely forgotten which way his pieces move? Well, no, he takes care of it. It could spin around, and still now queen b6 comes on the board, hits this tender pawn, and another weird move played to defend it. You could go knight e3 by the way, but queen d2 selected, covering here. Now the point is that you leave this one to still protect b2, then you slowly unravel. But first, knight g4 from Arjun, chucking more fuel on the fire here. It's move 8. Can you believe Magnus survives only 5 more moves? Basically, he goes f3 to kick away the knight, or does it? It jumps right in, hits the rook in the corner here. The game getting wildly out of control, almost as bad as my beard right now. So knight a4 is played. It's the best move. Opening theory, both players following it. You hit these two, and how about this for a crazy move? Queen c7, but you didn't have another square to actually stay with the bishop. Magnus now chops it off. If you go rook g1, well, you're walking into the firing line. No good. Knight e4 comes, then you win the rook. So this was played, given the double exclam here, because you sack rookie in the corner, and now Magnus Carlsen goes wrong. But is it a surprise? He doesn't always keep up with his opening theory these days. It's blitz chess. Arjun's caught him in his opening prep. Instead of going queen g5, best move to cover this one and hit the pawn, he goes queen f4, given the double question marks of doom. And just listen to a few of the Arjun fans when they see that he's caught Magnus in his opening prep.
Got him! Got him!
What's the killer move? Very well done if you can see this one already, or have already caught the game. It's queen a5 check, and it's a simple double attack, picking up the knight on c5. If bishop d2, then it still drops, right? So we see b4 from Magnus, blitzed out, and this is the moment we hear from 5-time world champion Vishy Anand. Have a listen to this.
Mushrooms.
Sorry, wrong clip. Have a listen to this.
I think now he realizes he can basically resign.
And here's the point, even after knight takes here, going bishop d2, creating this pin just doesn't work, because you can still take and with check. This is the key point, and stuff is collapsing for white. The queen picks up here and everything. So instead of bishop d2, Magnus desperately tries king d1, but simply check is now played. Many winning moves, as you can imagine. He already could have resigned a move or two ago, right? Now we get king e2, wandering around, horrendous bomb cloud. Knight takes here, hits the other rook in the corner, and this is nuts. Bishop e3, sacks a second rook, but not in the good way. Levy wouldn't be screaming about this one. We get queen e5 centralizing, Magnus just trying to randomize, and after queen takes here, check, blocking with the bishop. Now we get the move that's normally frowned on, f6, but here Lord Hans Feingold approves because it kicks the queen and now it allows more kicking of the pieces. Everything just backpedaling now, or is it Magnus is just like, wow, I'm busted, let's go kamikaze mode. But Arjun flicks in this check and then prepares to pick up the knight, and here Magnus Carlsen resigns, saying this:
I'll be black.
Why did he resign? Well, the king can take here, but then queen takes, and even if you keep these on the board, quick material count shows that black has 2 rooks and 2 pawns. That is an insane amount of extra material. Arjun takes the win here. What an incredible crush. Wow. Exciting tournament. Magnus did take it. And for another epic game of chess from this very tournament from Magnus, have a look at the video on screen. Cheers.